So, lads, today we are going to be talking a little bit about, obviously, the Brittney Griner and ALiyah Boston situation. This is something that, obviously, is kind of relevant because, one, it's ALiyah Boston. Two, like, Brittney Griner is still a relevant player in the WNBA. And we got to talk about this whole thing because it's something that's kind of half blowing up right now on social media. And even though the game happened last night. So right now, it's been nearly a day later. I'm way behind the videos, so I meant to have made this topic earlier. I do apologize. And lads, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are fighting. We are fighting to get back to where we once were. We're fighting to get back to 57 point, or well, above. We were at 57.3 at one stage. We're fighting to get back. We lost 11 subscribers in the last 2 days. We're trying to fight back to 57, 215. It's the highest we've been at in months. So anyway, yeah, we got to talk about this right here. So, if you guys don't know, Brittney Griner obviously went and got ALiyah Boston in the face and then, brushed back. Got her in the eye. And a lot of people are wondering is first of all, why was this not an ejection? And should it be a suspension? In my opinion, the reason why it's not an ejection in the game is because there is enough there's enough to be said for this might be completely accidental. And does anyone think it's accidental? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely nobody thinks it's accidental. But that being said, because there's a chance at the time that it's accidental and it is realistically a move that very, very well could happen in a basketball game. You can't really eject someone for that at the time. But the question is now, should there be a suspension for Brittney Griner? And now that is a different question. Should there be a suspension for Brittney Griner? For me, the answer is yes. Because the reason why, in real time, you could definitely chalk this up as being unintentional. But then after the ball's nowhere to, Griner makes no attempt to grab the ball here. Griner is nowhere near the ball. She's not within a meter of the ball. The ball is not within a meter of her by the time she grabs ALiyah Boston's face. There's no question about it that, it's intentional. And if you guys know what had happened in the previous possession, they got their arms tangled up. And the fact that there is a history of ALiyah Boston and Brittney Griner going at it. With the way Unrivaled have been with almost withholding players, they have no issue with if a player has an injury they can play with them sitting out. They have no issue with being overly cautious with everything. So when it comes to another player, for lack of a better word, cheap shotting another player, and they're suddenly not overly cautious with this, for me, that is a bit of a concern. That is a bit of a concern because they're not going to be. Because it is ALiyah Boston. Realistically, because it's ALiyah Boston, it's not going to be seen as a concern because, unfortunately, because of proximity to Caitlin Clark, amongst the WNBA media, it's fair game. ALiyah Boston is fair game. It's ALiyah Boston's fair game, Lexi Hull's fair game, Sophie Cunningham's fair game. You are allowed go out and try to hurt an Indiana Fever player. Heck, Sydney Colson was fair game when JC Sheldon jumped through her knee. The ball, Sid Colson was picking up the ball, and JC Sheldon jumped from behind, slid through her knees, and injured her. What JC Sheldon did to Sydney Colson was a red card in soccer. If it was with her feet, it was a tackle from behind. She slide tackled her from behind. And it was fair game because Sid Colson joined Indiana. And that's one of those things where it's if this was the opposite way around, if ALiyah caught Brittney Griner with this, I'm fully believe that ALiyah would be suspended by Unrivaled. I fully believe it. But because in the psychotic world of the WNBA, Fever players are fair game. Whether that's fair game from commentators, fair game from the media, fair game from other players. You are allowed to attack their characters. You are allowed to attack them as people. You are allowed to attack their looks. You're allowed to attack their whatever about. I'm not even going to say criticize. You're allowed to attack their skill set. You're allowed to attack where they're from. You're allowed to attack where they were born. You're allowed to attack their views. Fever players are fair game, and Unrivaled, unfortunately, is a lot of the way Unrivaled is old WNBA media. So nothing will be done with this. Absolutely nothing will be done. Nothing will be done. And I don't think in general that something like this you could say, oh yeah, is worthy of a suspension. But when it comes to Unrivaled and it being this buddy league and players, you don't actually have to play. We'll just you can pay to train. You don't have to play. This isn't a real sports league type thing. At the end of the day, it is like, it's one of those things where this is one of the, like, you realistically have to, if we're being completely real. Like, this is a league that is, again, priding itself on, kind of player safety and all this stuff. And I'm not saying she went after ALiyah Boston she had said she was going to go after ALiyah Boston from before the game, because she didn't. This was not premeditated. This was premeditated about 25 seconds earlier when their arms got tangled up. That was when it was premeditated from. That being said, though, it was we've seen a retaliation move when these players have history of getting into it from the WNBA. So there is a history of these two players. And it's not just a little small bit of history. Like, we've seen Brittney Griner swing elbows. We've seen ALiyah Boston. ALiyah Boston does ALiyah Boston things. When she drops steps, she keeps her arms high. And it's very, like, and the thing is, like, it's ironically, based on the rules of basketball, it is a perfectly legal elbow to the face. Like, she's in her cylinder. There's nothing wrong with it in the rules of basketball, but she does elbow people in the face. Let's be very clear here. It is, ALiyah Boston absolutely will hit someone with the elbow legal elbow to the face. But at the end of the day, I do think if the roles were reversed, there would be a suspension. And I think the fact that there's like no discussion of this, and the discussion is instead of, did ALiyah Boston deserve it, just shows how kind of just fucked up this whole thing is. Everything when it comes to the WNBA media, everything when it comes to this league. And ironically, when it comes to Unrivaled, it might be even worse. It might end up being even worse. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think that she should be, Griner should be suspended? Do you guys think Brittney Griner or ALiyah Boston deserved it? If you think the latter, genuinely crazy. But yeah, it is what it is. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.